This is an example of decorative vegetation in Australia. Up ahead is the University of Sydney. The great tower on that building was completed in 1862. This plaque reads, Sedere mens idem mutato. This is the first university built in Australia. Now there are many in Sydney. Students, especially international students, can be found living 4 to a bedroom because the rent and cost of living is so high. I paid $600 a month to have a small corner in the living room. By now you have probably noticed the pointed arches of the windows. The oldest buildings are an example of Gothic Revival architecture. It can also be referred to as Victorian Gothic or Neo-Gothic. It was a period begun in England that grew popular in the early 19th century. It followed a neoclassical period. One generation likes one thing, and the next generation creates something in reaction to it. This concept can actually be seen on the campus. As the university grew, newer buildings were added and designed in a contemporary style. That was a jacaranda tree. The other grand university that I visited is Stanford University in Palo Alto, California. The two have something in common, the highly prominent quadrangle structure with a courtyard or plaza surrounded on all 4 sides by buildings. This is McLaren Hall. It was originally the reading room in the Fisher Library, but after a new library was built, it was repurposed as a gathering space. It is filled with oil paintings, engravings, and insignias. As you well know, Sydney has opposite seasons. I visited this campus in springtime, although it looks like fall. So if you visited Australia during the transitional seasons, you would never know the difference. Interesting, isn't it? Kind of reminds me of the Swiss Alps, although I've never been there. I'm going to take you to another building. This one has a museum in it with mummies, but I didn't take any pictures of those. This building reminds me of a catacomb, so it's oddly appropriate. I enjoyed taking a long look at the gargoyles on the staircase. I also liked the light, and if it didn't remind me of a catacomb, this staircase could be romantic. Maybe they'll have to do a vampire wedding some Halloween. Except that they don't celebrate Halloween or Thanksgiving. These stained glass pictorials are mostly historical. However, there are Bible verses below some of them, including the ever-popular John 3:16. Mermaids aren't usually on stained glass in churches. And going back down the staircase, you'll notice human faces on the engravings. Those windows do open, and they have real classes in those buildings. They use old words like cloister. Apparently, cloisters are not only in convents. Getting ahead of myself there. Imagine being a professor with this office. I'd feel very accomplished. Here's a water closet. They actually do exist. I guess they heated the place with fireplaces back in the day. Here's some of the more modern buildings I was talking about. You can kind of guess when they were built. More recently, obviously. And here we come with the most recent building. This is the new library. You can sit in that corridor there and look at everyone outside and stay warm inside. And reminiscing about the Opera House, I guess they like rounded shapes. There was an election going on when I was there, and they still have an old-fashioned party named Wigs. But nobody was wearing a wig. so I don't know who they were. Look at the little pink pig purse. I hate to be stereotypical, but the people from the Asian countries, maybe Japan, really like that kind of stuff. These are some typical looking Australians, longer hair. You can find that in European inspired countries. I don't know if they would approve of me saying that. But I definitely think that they still have a lot to do with England. And here's some of the stuff that was probably built when I was born 28 years ago in the 80s. Looks like Transformers, which has been revived. Look at that poster for Afghanistan. Believe it or not, Australia has been our ally, and Australia has been dragged into all the stuff that we have done in the Middle East in the past 10 years or however long it's been. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe it has been 10 years. Long time. Long time. And there's a nun. And there's these doors. All their doors are sliding glass doors, but they're like thick single pane. And this furniture in here reminds me of UW Green Bay. Yes, you can ask me, how many universities have you gone to? Well, it took me, I believe I was in 5 different universities before I graduated. I had UW Wisconsin. Here's the water. Look at the price, $2.80. $2.80. And here's a Powerade, $3.80. A Fanta, $2.20. A Mother drink, $3.50. Candy bars, $2.50. $2.50. You could get them for $2 from the store, but that's still double what we pay. Ice cream, $3.20. And here's a sculpture. Apparently, a lot of people like rubbing this guy's nose. Don't know why. And interesting things to sit on.